Hey guys,
Hey
we are
guys!
here with you for this special
Live Q&A.
live Q&A. April, the spring has sprung.
It's like summer though
It-
already.
it
We had
is-
like winter and then we have summer.
Well, but the good news is I think the winter lasted a little bit longer. At
It
least
did.
Florida winter.
It did.
That's the unique thing about this is Florida winter.
Yeah, we're kind of wigging out right now because our webcam is reversed.
It's like reversed. I don't understand why it's doing this.
And I'm actually on the other side and Joe's on the other side in real life. So we're like a little, if you see us like looking confused.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
I
But
don't
hey,
know.
at least it's working. We got people coming in.
Yes.
And it's just great to be here with all of our subscribers and
Yep.
people that help support us. Of course, Jacob is here
Monitoring
tonight, monitoring
the
as
chat.
always.
Don't spam.
Obviously, if you have a specific question or comment that you want to have heard, the best way to do that is through the super chat. But I want to take a few moments right now because you know what? What's awesome about what we do and how you guys follow us on this journey is so many people send us things.
I know.
And we also meet people in person that want to
share
things with us.
Yeah.
And I just want to first start off. This is so cool. If you're wondering what the heck is this, it's actually made out of this, I want to say like acrylic plastic. And you'll notice the mark here on the bottom. That is the designer's mark. And if you're wondering, well, what is it? First of all, it's a Nissan 240Z.
It's really cool.
And I wound up walking around. It was the last day of the New York Auto Show that we were there.
Right.
Because we're only there for a day and a half.
Right.
The second day, and we were getting ready to leave. And I went downstairs to look at that Supra collection that they had.
Right.
And I ran into this guy. Nicest guy. This is his Instagram. Definitely check him out because he actually hand makes these.
They're really cool. And it's actually lighter than you think.
Yeah, it's very
really
light.
Heavy,
it's
but
really
not too heavy at all.
And what's cool is he doesn't just do Zs, he does all sorts of different cars from Mazda FD RX-7s to Nissan
and so he
Zs to
brought
Toyota
that to
Supras.
The show not knowing if he was going to
Not knowing if he was going to run into me. And
That's
he ran
so
into
cool.
me and he wound up giving me this.
That's really
And we wound
neat.
up taking a picture. I shared it on Instagram. So it's always great to meet you guys in person. And if you ever do see me, whether I'm at an airport or in a restaurant or something, please come up and say hello. You're not bothering me one bit. The least I could do is say thank you for your support. We already got our first super chat.
Yes.
James Photos. Thank you for the super chat. He says, loved your Z Nismo video. Just bought one.
Congrats.
Well, congrats, James. It's a great car. And it's one of those cars that, no matter how many times you jump into it, I feel like you're always going to have a good time.
I completely agree.
Plus the style of it, they really nailed the style.
And speaking of Nissan, they always have a really, in New York Auto Show, they always have like
Casey with Nissan always has a great display that he puts in together. Casey, one of our friends who works for Nissan, that's his job to put the displays together. Like what is going to be displayed? How is it going to be displayed? All that kind of stuff. So thank you, James. We got another super chat. Anthony Baez, thank you for the super chat. BMW M4 M440i. For me, that's an easy choice. I'm going to go M4 because if you're going to go in, you might as well go all the way. But I know that you really like the M440i.
Really like the 440i.
Remember that Hampton gray?
Love that color.
We actually drove that to Daytona.
To Daytona, yeah. I've always had a very soft spot in my heart for that car.
You really, really like that. Yeah. So, but thank you, Anthony, for your super chat.
I'm not sure if you could go wrong, but
Lori's going M440i. Yeah. I'm saying M4. Your mom is here.
Oh, hi, Mom.
She says, love you both. And we definitely got to give Lori's mom, Kathy, a shout out because she just got herself a brand new Subaru Forester.
Limited.
So, yes.
She's so happy about it.
Very happy with it. And we're happy that she's happy. And it's as simple as that.
We have another super chat.
Another super chat. David Hanley. Thank you for that. From Newport Richie, not that far. I was actually in Newport Richie. I got a haircut today, and then I wound up doing a driving review of a video that we have coming up. So stay tuned for that. David, I don't know if you know, I'm sure you know Trouble Creek Road. That was where I was doing some on-throttle action. And don't worry, everybody. Yes, the name is called Trouble Creek, but I know the road very well to where
I always thought it was Treble.
No, it's Trouble Creek.
Are you sure?
It's Trouble Creek. I'm willing to bet whatever you want.
Okay.
What do you want to bet?
We've got, how about?
Okay. So we have some other things that people have sent us. So if you're ever wondering, well, how do I know where to send you things? Believe it or not, in our About section on the Raiti's Rides YouTube channel page,
we have
our P.O. box, so that if you ever want to send a letter, a card, or any kind of gift, I'll be more than happy to respond to you, or do it this way during a live Q&A. But we got a package from Spencer, a guy named Spencer in Virginia, and I opened it up, and he sent me two things, and he's definitely a follower of Raiti's Rides. So, of course, we got some good old Big League Chew. I can't wait to use this in a review.
Yeah.
And then he also sent me this little Twinkie guy, which was really cool. I know these pop figures are always popular. We see them at the mall.
Yes.
In one of those
but I didn't know
stores.
They made Twinkie guys.
Yeah, they actually on the back have other ones as well.
Which
Look at that. Isn't that cool? So thank you, Spencer, for the gifts. He wrote a nice little letter here. Really, really great guy, and can't do it without his support.
Axel Wyland just super chatted.
Wow.
My favorite car channel. Hello from Wesley Chapel.
Not
we got
far.
a lot of locals in the house. Just got a 24 Tracks 1RS.
Nice.
It's great to have a sporty looking car at a great price.
Yes. Well, Axel, thank you for joining in. It's great to have you just a little bit further north of us.
Yep.
We're in Clearwater, and he's in Wesley Chapel. So if you don't know where that is, basically Clearwater's here, and then Wesley Chapel is going to be about, I want to say 45 minutes away.
Not too far.
45 minutes to an hour away. Great cars and coffee events out there. And thank you for the super chat, and congrats on your track. Chevy did a great job with the tracks.
They did.
Styling is awesome.
They
really great. Now, I'm not one of those people that are like, hey, my birthday's coming up, everybody. Like some people do that. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. If you want to tell people it's your birthday,
or the birth
knock
month
yourself out. Yeah, whatever.
I can't celebrate with that long.
Yeah, I'm not, when people find out, they find out. But another longtime subscriber and somebody who has sent me, this is now the third or fourth thing that him and his wife, Tim, and his wife has sent me that are Twinkie related. He actually sent me an early birthday gift because my birthday is May 10th. There's the little note with the Twinkie guy on it. And then what he did was he took this muscle car, this Hot Wheels muscle car, and he actually turned it into the Hostess muscle car with putting the stickers on there. So thank you, Tim and his wife. Really, really nice.
Very nice of them.
And now that we got that out of the way, we got another super chat. Thank you, everybody, for the gifts. Really appreciate it. And of course, we actually met somebody else who's another auto journalist, and he hooked me up with a Matchbox and some Twinkies, which was really nice.
They ran out of food for the journalists, so believe me, we were sharing the Twinkies, and everybody was really thankful.
And what was really cool was that he knows I collect Hot Wheels and Matchbox, and
you do?
Yes, I do.
He's only got like 500 or something.
I gotta post those one of those days.
Chabby's Rides just super
Michael chat. Yes, Chat. Thank you for the super chat.
Hey, Joe and Lori, loving the content. Thoughts on the Ranger Raptor?
Well, I'm excited about the Ranger Raptor. We have not had the opportunity.
And it's my fault.
Well, I wouldn't say it's your fault.
I got sick.
Lori got sick, and we had to miss the Ranger drive. But don't worry, Ford is sending us one, and I do have a little bit north of here, the Raiti's Rides off-road test track.
Oh my goodness.
And we're going to be taking that Ranger Raptor out there. It is top secret because I don't want all these schmucks going out there and doing stupid things.
Well, that's true.
This schmuck is big enough.
One schmuck
is enough. But we'll be bringing it to you. One thing I definitely could say, Michael, is that for the price, when you compare it to the Toyota TRD Pro, the Tacoma, it undercuts it by almost like 10 grand, which is a lot of money.
Significant.
That's a lot of money. And if you haven't seen my Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro off-road review, definitely check it out. We were at this event called Toyotathon that I was calling it.
We were calling it Toyotathon, yeah.
And we have a lot more videos to come.
Yeah, because we still have 2 more Tacoma trims.
Yes.
2 more Camrys, a Land Cruiser, and then on June 6th,
yes,
the Crown Signia.
The Crown Signia, which was 2 trims.
Yeah, and we have 2 of those.
So if you thought that you've already seen my coverage from Toyotathon out in San Diego, stay tuned. I have more coming. But Michael, I think the Ranger Raptor for the price, when compared to the competition, is a lot of truck for the money.
Because we did get a chance to spend some good time with the Ranger Raptor.
Yes, we did. Sitting in it.
And more coming soon.
Yes. So thank you for the super chat.
Yes, and Kenton Healy is here. Hey, Kenton.
Hey, Kenton. It's great to have you here. Yeah. I'm curious, when's the next time he's getting on a plane, or maybe right now he is out of town. Who knows? Might be, yes. He might be out of town right now. ZDX looks very interesting. The embargo has not lifted for it yet, so we can't say anything yet.
I don't know anything.
But definitely stay tuned. I think that with the horsepower and, of course, the unique Acura style, it will be interesting.
Well, we've done 3.
We have done 3 walk-arounds, static walk-arounds of it. So if you haven't seen all 3 of those, Ken, definitely check it out. But I think it's going to be exciting to see overall what will be people's perception. What's kind of cool is that since we're on the topic of EVs, I'm going to be going on Thursday with Steven to Detroit to get our hands on the Cadillac Optic, which will be their entry-level luxury EV.
That's going to be interesting.
So stay tuned for that. But thank you, Ken, for the super chat. We got another one, Andrew Montenegro. Hey, Andrew, how are you doing? Great to have you here. He says, is it worth to get a 2024 Mustang over the 2023s at a better price? Also, what are your thoughts on Mustangs when having small children, 3 years old? Well, I really think that if you could find a new 2023 and get it at a better price, you're still getting a ton of performance and a ton of value. And I personally, I've said this in the reviews already, I like the screens better in the older one.
In the older version, yeah.
But with that being said, there are some really nice finishes on the interior of the new one.
I'm
really nice finishes.
Kind of partial myself to a 24.
And if you have a 3-year-old, I think the back seat, they're going to love that. I feel like that's going to be like their little race seat back there, because if you get too big, you're not going to fit back there. So I highly recommend, if you have the small kids now, yes, if you have the small kids now, put them in the back seat of a Mustang. They're going to love it. And if you get a 2023, I still think it's a great car.
Absolutely.
But thank you for the super chat.
We have another super chat from Andre
Thompson.
Thompson. He says, Joe, just wanted to thank you for taking the time last year during the CX-90 launch to hop on a video call with me and my buddy Matthew.
Oh, yes. I remember that. That was a lot of fun. And that was something that, you know what? It's like one of those things that if we can make the time happen, we can make it happen.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's the same thing. If you see me in public, please come say hi. You're not going to be bothering me, and I'll definitely make the time for you. Thank you, Andre.
And then Mateo Elaine from
Canada.
Hey, Joe from New Brunswick, Canada. Love every video you put out.
Well, thank you so much, and we appreciate all of our Canadians, and thank you for that Canadian super chat. We will be going up to Montreal for a media drive very, very shortly in June. So stay tuned for that. If you live in Montreal, maybe you might see us. That has happened. We have been filming on the side of the road, and people pull over and they're like, it's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. And I'm like, hey, how's it going, man? So thank you, Mateo.
Yeah, it's very sweet. All right, so then we have Stanley 2, and then Stanley 2, nice to see your lovely wife at your side. She is the engine to your life. That's very kind.
Thank you, Stanley, and you are so right. You know, it's like one of those things that there's that saying that every great man has a woman behind her or something, him or something like that. No, right next to me, and she does an amazing job, and she is one of the hardest workers that I know, and inspires me to work hard.
Sweet.
So thank you.
That's very sweet.
Yes.
And thank you for saying that, Stanley, too. And then Keith L., I saw Keith actually wants to know, Stelvio or GV70?
Easy, GV70. I wouldn't take an Alfa Romeo if you gave me the money and said go buy it. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. The reliability of them are terrible. And I actually like the Genesis G70 and GV70. I think they're smaller sedan and crossover SUV. They really hit the nail on the head. And I just feel like you're going to have a better overall experience with it.
Well, I completely agree.
That's just me. It's interesting because during the pandemic, when all the other brands were losing sales because they couldn't, boost production, they didn't have cars to sell. One brand that did not increase their sales, even though they had the cars sitting there, was Alfa Romeo. I just don't know how much longer they're going to be able to stick around.
Yeah, that's too bad. They're beautiful cars.
They are beautiful. They're Italian, but
yeah.
Yeah.
And then super chat here from Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. You need a standard box of Twinkies on each review to demonstrate interior space. Footlong sub.
Ooh, I like that. We've done that
on our earlier reviews.
Yes,
Aaron.
we've done that on certain reviews. The problem is, believe it or not, I start to get hungry, and in between cars, I'll start eating the stuff.
Yes.
And then it just becomes a big mess.
In the Florida sun, they start to melt.
Oh, they're gross.
Not the Twinkies. Yeah. But we did that with the Skittles.
Yes. Oh, no, I know, right? Yeah. That was interesting. But thank you, Aaron, for your generosity. And thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. We're over 200 people so far. And like I said, use that super chat feature if you would like to be heard. One thing I want to bring out is this. And no, I'm not flicking everybody off, okay? I know a lot of people have noticed in the videos the black and blue on the tip of my finger. I was underneath my C4 Corvette doing some maintenance. I had to change the starter, and this is what happens when you work on your own car. I like how people
comment that they think you painted your nails
black. I painted my nail black. Yes, this is one.
He is not I'm
just testing this one. I ran out of nail polish. I got to cover the rest. But no, that's what it has happened, and I appreciate so many people have messaged me concerned about my nail. What happened?
It's probably gonna fall off.
I don't think so.
No, you don't think so?
You think it's gonna fall off?
No, I'm just kidding. Oh my god.
Why'd you say that?
I'm just kidding.
It's still here. Why do you think it's gonna fall
JC
off?
is offended. His eyes are now bleeding from you having done that.
Doing the one finger salute.
Yes.
But thank you guys for being concerned. I am okay. I still have all 10 fingers.
Thank goodness the finger's fine.
Yes.
Thank goodness you didn't break your finger. Because that would have been horrible.
But trust me, I was screaming, and I wasn't screaming on throttle at the top of my lungs.
No, I don't think so.
I was screaming some other stuff.
Well, thank you for addressing that. We're all wondering if you were like really hip and cool.
Yeah, just the
or
one.
Just slammed your finger. Let me see if I can say this name. We have a super chat.
Yes.
Rohaiti Cruz.
That's a good job.
I hope that's correct, Rohaiti, from the Dominican Republic. Acura RDX or Lexus RX?
I'm going to have to say, dang, you got me on that one really good. I'm going to have to say probably RDX. And the reason why is I love the way it drives. It's still such a good driving car with that detuned Type R engine, the super handling all-wheel drive. Yes, it doesn't have a touchscreen, but if you can get past that, I really think that is a great vehicle. Now, if you need a little bit extra room, then you're going to have to go RX, or if you want the newer tech, because it does have the newer tech in the RX. But I still think Acura RDX is still a great vehicle. It really, really is.
Yeah,
I know you've always liked it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but thank you, Rohaiti Cruz, for that super chat.
And tuning in from the DR.
Yeah, really the Dominican Republic. Look at you, sound cool.
I know.
The DR,
so
from
cool.
the DR, man.
We're just here to keep each other humble.
That's right.
All right, so JC actually has a super chat or a question for you, rather.
Okay.
Ram, Rebel, Hemi, or Hurricane? Your thoughts on both?
You know, I think once a lot of people drive the Ram Rebel with the Hurricane, they're gonna really enjoy it, and the changes that they made to the interior are freaking unbelievable. They really, really are.
Oh yeah, completely.
But at the end of the day, I mean, let's just say it. There's no replacement for displacement, and the Hemi's a Hemi. And if you could get one now and get it for a cheaper price, why not? I just saw advertisement for Ram 2024 Ram trucks on TV when we were having dinner tonight.
That's true. Yeah,
they're starting to have incentives and all that.
Yeah.
Is that Marie or Mary?
I think that's Marie.
Marie has a good question. Have you seen the teaser for the C8 ZR1? Not only have I seen the teaser for the C8 ZR1, we are going to be bringing it to you. So stay tuned for that in the flesh. Like, we will be with the car right in front of us. Oh, I might do, if people look away, I might do more than hug it.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's really concerning.
Yeah, yes. Members only.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They were spicy tonight.
Oh, I know it
is.
is. We have a super chat from Kenton.
From Kenton again.
Very sweet.
Traveling. Kenton travels probably as much as we do.
Almost.
So
when is Nissan going to give the Rogue some oomph? It's so underpowered.
You know, I wish I had the easy answer for that. I'm actually hoping that they come out with a different transmission rather than the CVT. Nice. I would like to see the CVT gone first and then worry about more power, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's in the cards for Nissan right now. They got the new Armada coming out soon.
Yeah.
They got a redesigned Murano. The Kicks is here.
Yeah.
So I don't really see a lot of extra horsepower coming out of that thing.
Yeah.
But very good question, Ken. Rogues still sell. They still sell like crazy.
Yeah, even though they don't have, and with the CVT, they do.
Soccer Boss has a question. Do you like the Infiniti Q60? I love the style of the Infiniti Q60. The way it drives is a little interesting because it has that electric steering by wire, which does not feel good when you're going through the twisty bits. But boy, oh boy, did they get a timeless design on their hands.
Yeah, they sure do.
Another super chat.
Yes, Restored Data. Thank you so much. Which is better, a 24 RAV4 Adventure or a 24 Rogue SL?
I would go RAV4 Adventure all day long. I really think that the RAV4 is going to hold its value more.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get a little bit newer tech in the Rogue. But still, I think that the RAV4 Adventure with the 8-speed automatic is definitely the way to go.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree.
But thank you for your super chat.
I wanted to shout out Drip Kings TV. They thanked me. Thank you, Lord, for all your hard work and awesome camera work. Thank you.
That's really awesome.
I really appreciate that.
I really appreciate when you guys shout out Lori and even Steven.
And that's sweet too. Shamako forever. My two favorites, Joe and his soulmate.
Oh, she is my soulmate.
It's just a bunch of happy,
we're all in love,
lovey-dovey people.
I love it. Yes, I love it. Well, that's what we bring here.
I know, it's awesome.
Yes. Both very professional as Monstel.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. That's really.
And then we got a super chat from Karim.
Yes.
Kareem or Karim?
Probably Karim.
Baydari. Thank you for the super chat. If you have a question, we see that there's no question there, but if you have a question, put it in the comments and hopefully Jacob could flag it for us.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye out for it and Jacob will probably see it.
Blue Basin Aquatic says Nissan Titan or Ram 1500. I'm going to go Ram 1500 unless you could get a crazy deal on a Titan. I would go Ram 1500. You're just getting nicer interior, newer tech. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on. David P., we really appreciate you and thank you for joining us tonight. I know he commented in the video of the Hyundai Tucson N-Line that I posted that he was going to be here.
Oh, awesome.
And then there was somebody, Chris G. He knows who he is. He had a
Does he know who he is?
He knows who he is. I hope to God he does.
Who he is.
But he had to go to work tonight.
He had to work.
They switched his schedule after all this time.
You're making up a story.
I'm not making up a story at all. He's been waiting. He's been waiting for.
Here's Oscar. Everybody.
Oscar's here! Yay, Oscar! But no, Chris G. He's been waiting for a live Q&A, and they just switched the schedule.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so he had to work tonight. Chris. But I hope that when you watch this, Chris, you hear my shout out for you.
Yes.
Talk about shout outs. We got another super chat from Andy Q. Hoodbro. Thank you for that super chat.
Yep. He says, thoughts on Hyundai Ioniq 5N, 641 horsepower beast. I hate EVs, but this one really made me fall in love. I went for a drive at the New York Auto Show, and wow, 0 to 60, 2.9 seconds. Yep. I had fun. I want one.
Yeah.
I like it.
You know, Andy, I can't, first of all, thank you for the super chat again. I can't argue with what Hyundai has done with the Ioniq 5N. I mean, it's got the performance, but I think the bigger thing is how they've been able to equate some of the driving characteristics that car enthusiasts like. My problem is I just can't get past that it's not real. Like when the vehicle shifts, it's not real. The noise that it makes, it's not real. But with that being said, out of all the EVs, it's as close as you're going to get to an electrified vehicle feeling like an ICE vehicle.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. So, and like you said, you can't argue with 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. The problem is that, you know, you're looking at $68,000. which to me is a
lot
lot
of money.
It's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money.
But I mean, he enjoyed the experience.
Yes, can't argue with that.
So it feels like
if he's happy, listen. I'm a firm believer. Buy whatever's going to make you happy. Whatever, and that's what makes the world go round. If I just said this to somebody at a Cars and Coffee event over the weekend, if we were all driving the same car, it would be really weird to review cars if we all did the same car.
It would be pretty miserable.
It would be, yeah.
And like we all wore the same clothes.
All right, guys,
Would that be a horrible
we ate the same food.
All right, so Jacob found Kareem. Thank you so much, Jacob, for finding Kareem's super chat. Hey guys, just wanted to say thanks for your videos. You guys are the best. My wife and I always look up your videos to pick new cars.
That's awesome. We really appreciate your support.
That's so great.
From you and your wife. Yeah. Hey, I'm a firm believer. A couple that watches Raity's rides together stays together.
That's right.
And we do have to scroll a little bit.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yes, it's gotten busy. Dan Zhang, thank you for the super chat. He says, why is the Maserati Gran Turismo depreciating so much? You can now pick up a 2018 model for less than 50 G's. Will it happen to the new design Model 2? I totally think it will. I just think that is the market. The only one that doesn't seem to be dropping is the Maserati MC20. That's the only one, or any other Maserati supercar. But the Ghibli, the Gran Turismo, so on and so forth, those do not hold their values very well. And I think a lot of it has to do with when you look at the amount of Dodge parts that are in it, there's quite a bit.
There's a lot.
So very good question. Thank you for the super chat.
And then Blackwing, who dominates the racetrack.
I love that name.
I know, right? Hey, Joe and Lori, are you considering the Apexes like always?
Yes.
My dream car is an 89. Conquering.
Yes.
I said considering.
Yeah, well, I'm considering conquering more Apexes tomorrow. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Oh my God. My dream car is an 89 Fox.
Hell yeah.
With a 427W. Don't worry, we'll dominate the twisties because they're calling our names on throttle. Okay, Blackwing, who dominates the racetrack. Don't encourage him.
Yes, don't encourage me.
But on throttle, here we go. Yes. I love it. That's awesome.
So thank you for that super chat. Aaron, thank you for the super chat. It says, love y'all's videos and hard work. Can't do it without you guys. Best truck brand to buy right now for grocery duties and some off-road use. I would have to say Toyota.
Yeah.
I would have to say Toyota. I think that, their tech, the way they build their vehicles, and the way they hold their value are very, very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now we have 250 people here.
That's
so
awesome.
It's really awesome for a Tuesday night, random Tuesday night. David P., thank you for your super chat. Jacob, if David has anything else that he wants to ask, let us know for sure. But David has been on this journey. He's been a subscriber for a very long time.
That's awesome.
And I have to say that David is in the freaking comments every single day. I got to give it to him. I got to give it up.
So he knows his car knowledge.
Yes, he does.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And then Cody Wooten also has a super chat. Thoughts on the redesigned 2024 Traverse? Isn't the YouTube embargo for going on throttle this Monday?
The embargo is actually the 9th.
Okay.
May 9th.
I don't know. I have it written down.
I believe it's May 9th. It's not this Monday. I know this Monday is May 9th.
Monday is not May 9th. No.
I believe it's May 9th. Let me confirm that.
Here, let me
Lori's gonna go check right now. She'll be right back. I'll carry the load here. But it's May 9th. It is interesting. I'm gonna leave it at that. I can't say anything else. I can't say anything else, even though I want to say things. But we did a review of the RS and a review of the Z71, and they did have an off-road course for us to drive the Z71.
Okay.
So, and it was cool. It was in Atlanta. So
and it's a morning embargo. So
morning embargo. Yeah, the Chevy likes to do morning embargoes.
Yeah.
But definitely stay tuned. I really think that it's going to be a mid-size SUV to consider. Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, from the first look, I mean, we were loving it. Yeah. Let's see what we have here. Dean Scott, thoughts on the new Santa Fe? I've done a couple reviews already. I'm actually going to be going back up to Crown Hyundai in the next few weeks. I think for the price, it's a lot of crossover SUV for the money. The styling, it's interesting. Normally, some styles grow on you as time goes by. Some of the styling has kind of grown against me Like the back. I
see
can't
that.
stand the back. And it has to be a certain color. If it's white, I don't like the way it looks because all the black accents are just too much.
Yeah.
Especially on the front. But with that being said, it is a hell of a lot better than the previous Santa Fe.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get the right trim, they look pretty killer. So I say if you're interested in one, jump on it.
And then Alvin Alendu says, "Hey, Raiti family, I'm pretty young and there's a car that I've been saving for a long time. It's a WRX. Should I buy it?"
You know, my advice when especially buying a WRX is you want to have a mechanic do a pre-buy inspection on it. And if it's a private owner, or even if it's being sold by a dealership, buy one that has all the maintenance records to let you know that you've taken care of it. And I would try to buy one that's stock, believe it or not.
Yeah, not heavily modified.
Because if it's heavily modified, it may sound exciting, but yeah, you just never know.
Yeah.
Care unit, Supra or Nissan Z.
I knew you were going to see that one.
At first, I would have automatically said Nissan Z because I love the style of it. But if you're looking more for performance, the Supra is the better car.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
Is the new RHO, we got a question by Hunter, is the new RHO Ram going to be worth it? I mean, it's got a lower price than
it sure looks good.
It looks just like a TRX.
It looks fantastic.
And it has more performance than a standard Raptor. So that I think says it right there.
You know, I mean, obviously we haven't driven it yet, but it sure is promising.
We will be driving it soon, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
We got another super chat.
Ganzonomy.
Yes.
What's your take on JDM cars such as the V12 powered Toyota Century?
You know, I actually know somebody that has one of those, and I think they're exciting. I think they're fun. If you've ever had a vehicle that was never available here in the United States and only available in the Japanese market, why not track one down and you could live your JDM dreams? And if a Toyota Century is all you, go for it. A lot of people normally do GTRs, normally do right-hand drive Supras, but why not do a Toyota Century if you wanted to?
Yeah, that's a really great point.
Great question.
Thank you, BKSSB, for the super chat.
Oh, and Jacob, if he has or she has anything to say, like a specific question, if you could flag it, that would be
because I don't
awesome.
think we saw anything. Dave, if you want to ask a question, or
he might have just been super chatting,
which is really fine too.
Yeah,
very fine too. Thank you guys so much for the super chat.
We got another one.
Nightbreaker, thank you so much. I have a 23 Sentra and plan to trade it down the road, no pun intended, for something more exciting. What would you recommend? Love your channel.
Okay, so he's got first of all, thank you for the super chat. He's got a Nissan Sentra and plans to trade down the road
for something more exciting.
Yes, something more exciting. If you're looking for a sedan, I would say, and you're looking at a certain price point and you want to keep it a sedan, I would say Civic Si. I would say Elantra N.
That's exactly
I would say Sonata N line, Kia K5 GT, something like that. I think that, depending on the price, I mean.
Well, what about a Mazda 3? Would that be exciting enough compared to
I would say, I mean, Mazda 3 Turbo for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's going to be a good price.
Even a WRX would be.
Yeah.
Would be plenty of fun.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of choices out there at a reasonable price point if that's what you're trying to do. If you're trying to keep it at a reasonable price point, from about from about 30 grand to about 40 grand, there's quite a few cars to choose from.
Restored Data brought up a good point. The Acura Integra, where does that, is that over 40?
The A spec is not, but yes, the Type S is. The Type S is 52.
Yeah, well, that's going to be really
and even a Type R is more than 40. It's 44.
Yeah, Type R.
So,
yeah.
And we got another super chat. Thank you guys for the super chats. We really appreciate your generosity. And it really just helps us keep doing what we do with the channel, with the travel and the buying of all the film gear and everything else. I mean,
and thank you so much. Jacob was kind enough to find BK.
Oh, well, that's good.
Super chat.
That's awesome.
And then we'll jump to Andy.
Yes.
BKSSB wants to know Chevy 24 Camaro V6 buy or question mark.
If you could find a good price on a Camaro V6, I say go for it. I know everybody's gonna say, "Oh, it's not a Camaro unless you get a V8," but the V6 has quite a bit of horsepower, especially if you don't have a lot of experience with high horsepower cars. You can get yourself into trouble with a V8 a lot faster than a V6. But with that being said, if you could find an LT1, that is really a bargain standout because you have the V8, but it comes at a cheaper price
Well,
point.
that's a really good point.
So,
really good point.
But either way, I don't, this is the year to buy a new Camaro because there's no 2025 Camaros. I can guarantee you that.
And then Andy Q Hood Bro has a super chat. Thank you very much for that. I like Toyota Century with the proper exhaust. It can sound like an F1, but still won a 300C 5.7 or 6.1 Hemi. Review the 599 GTO if you can, FPJ and F50.
I totally agree with you. It's interesting how you could take a 12-cylinder and really open it up with a special exhaust. But yeah, you're right. There's just nothing like the sound and rumble of a V8. I know every time I fire up Grape Ape, it's just like,
oh, that was
Oscar's head.
Oh. I don't know if you guys heard that.
They felt it because the whole table shook.
God.
Oh, you poor little boy. I tell you, he's got a head made out of stone.
He's a little bit of a bulldozer.
But anyways,
oh my God.
that was hard.
That was very sad.
Poor guy. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, there's nothing like the V8 rumble. And I will definitely try. I would love to get my hands on a 599 GTO, a Lamborghini SVJ, or especially an F50. Yes, any and all of the above.
Yes. Kenton, thank you so much.
Yeah, another super chat.
Old school question. Would you pick a Dodge Stealth RT Turbo or the Mitsubishi 3000 GT?
Easy.
Now you're talking his language.
Yes,
Kenton.
easy. And I can't believe we're actually calling that old school, talking about those cars. But yes, they are. I mean, 30 years and older now.
We all know that you wear jorts. The cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, right.
You used to wear jorts.
Yeah. Well, everybody did in the 90s.
Well, I know we all did. I wore jorts.
Yeah. So easy question. I would go Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4. There was just something about that car. I remember when my dad took me to the 1991 Tampa Bay Auto Show, when the Tampa Bay Auto Show actually used to be a little bit bigger, and seeing that red 3000 GT VR4 and bringing the brochure home. They had this big, huge brochure, and reading over it and looking at the pictures about all the active aero. Think about this, everybody. That car had rear wheel steer, all-wheel drive, and active aero back in the early 1990s. That, to me, and twin turbos.
Oh, well.
The problem was that it was heavy as hell. And I just felt like it had the better look than the Stealth RT. But with that being said, there is something that just makes my heart pitter-patter about a white on white Dodge Stealth RT. They had one. It was white with white wheels. Oh. And I know it sounds weird, but it's just something
very 90s, though.
Yes, it is. You should see your face. It looks like you're about to throw up on me or something. But I'm going to go 3000 GT VR4. That's definitely up my alley.
Okay, well, that's very good to know. I'm glad we got that straight out. Chabby's Rides, super chat. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
21 G90 Ultimate all-wheel drive with 29,000 miles for $46K. Deal or no deal? Looking at a lease return, new one's too expensive.
I think for 46 grand, man, I think somebody took the bite of the depreciation. I mean, 29,000 miles is nothing.
Yeah.
And those G90s, I mean, you're like that's Mercedes S-Class right there. So I would say go for it. If everything else checks out on it, I would say pull the trigger.
Yeah, I completely agree. I did want to point out, Dan the Computer Man had a really nice comment. He said, I think more people should know that you have a website with merch.
Yes.
I picked up an On Throttle t-shirt and it's awesome.
Well, that's awesome, Dan. And we always try to show the merch on here.
We need to get some merch with Oscar.
Yes. But yeah, click the link at any video, and I'm sure Jacob could put the link up to our spread shirt. They're actually really good quality shirts.
They're really soft.
And there's women's specific sizes,
obviously,
men's.
We've got
we got all the different sayings and whatever you want. But thank you Dan, the computer man, for that.
Yes. And then another Dan Zhang.
Thank you, Dan Zhang, for the super chat.
Will I lose a lot of fun if I buy an automatic Miata? I live in New York, so traffic's crazy, and all my friends with manuals are kind of miserable.
Listen, I get it. And trust me, every time we visit the city in Manhattan or whatever, I wouldn't want to own a manual driving. And I don't even think I want to own a car. So I don't think you're going to lose out on that much fun. The only challenge is that if you ever want to go, for a nice longer drive outside of the city, it might be a little less engaging, but I still think you're going to have a blast. And if it comes down to it, I'd rather you buy a Miata with an automatic and enjoy it a little bit more, especially around town, than not to buy one at all.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that.
So thank you. And Jacob put up the merch link. Thank you, Jacob, for doing that. Jacob is awesome. I mean, I remember having the opportunity to meet him when he came down for our millionth subscriber. That was really awesome.
It was really, really neat. He's definitely been a part of this whole thing for a long, long time.
Anwar Jah has a question. He says, you like the new Camry XSE? I actually do. I know it does not have performance like the TRD, but let's get real. The MPGs that they're getting out of that car are straight out ridiculous. And I do like the changes to how it drives. It definitely feels better as a driver when you're behind the wheel of the new Camry.
And then little Danny 904 has a super chat. Have you heard any news on the 2025 Mark 8 GTI?
Well, I know I've heard the news that obviously they're going to do it. Yeah, 8.5.
8.5.
I know that they're getting rid of the manual. So manual is a no-go anymore. And then they've made some refresh. We haven't seen it yet. I haven't heard anything from Volkswagen yet, but I would probably think by the end of the summer, I should hear something. So stay tuned, Danny.
Okay. American Hot Dog just says that the lady with the dog is a smoke show. I just wanted to share that.
She is. You are smoking hot. Trust me. Listen, I won't ever doubt that.
I feel amazing.
I hit the jackpot. So
that's very sweet. Yes. Okay, so BKSSB is back with the super chat. Thank you so much. And
sure.
He says, thank you for answering. I got a Camaro V6 3LT for $39K. Nice. Lucked out with an active exhaust.
Good.
Love the sound. I can't handle a V8 400.
Listen, I totally get it. It's one of those things. That's why they sell different engines for different cars. And if you look at the amount of horsepower that your V6 is producing, go back to the muscle car days. There were big old V8s that weren't producing that much.
One of the things that you say a lot at journalism events that I think I appreciate, because Joe is one of the few journalists that actually has a racing pedigree. And he's always, like whenever other journalists are like, oh God, does Joe think that I'm a terrible driver?
Yeah.
You always commend them for driving within their means.
Yes.
And if you don't feel comfortable with something, speak up and don't do it.
And learn it and slowly build into it. It'll make things much more enjoyable to you. It's fun to be scared by a car every now and then when you're driving, just by the sheer performance of it. But it's not fun to be scared because you're losing control and you're about to hit a pole or something. That's not fun.
That's very true.
So congratulations, by the way.
Great
got the last. That's it.
Yeah.
2024.
I think you got a good one. Emily Revelto.
Oh, thank you, Emily. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being from Canada. We love our Canadians.
And then she's got a question on the Spark Owl, the Aston Martin DBS 770 Ultimate, and the new Maserati Gran Turismo, and the new Vantage, and the new Mercedes AMG.
Well, Emily, you definitely have good taste in cars. I'm going to actually be doing the new Mercedes AMG GT by the end of this month. Also, the Vantage will be getting on the channel, the new Vantage, which I love the look of the new Vantage. I think they did a great job on the style. That's coming up this summer. Maserati Gran Turismo, I'm excited for it, but I'm excited for the other two vehicles a lot more. And then we'll have to see about the first two that you mentioned, whether I could get my hands on them. But thank you for the super chat. And thank you for that listing of variety of vehicles. And then we have Jax.
And then, Jax, if you have a
question,
first of all, thank you so much for the super chat.
Yes, thank you, Jax.
But you just throw it in the comments, and we'll
hopefully Jacob can dig it up for us.
Otherwise, thank you so much for the super chat. We really
thank you for the support.
And then Emily, another super chat.
Thank you, Emily. That's really awesome of you. And we want to thank everybody. Right now we have over 260 people. Whoa, it just jumped up to 276 people here. So we're great. We're so grateful to have you here. So grateful for you to be on the journey with us, and just want to bring more cars and content. We do have some surprises coming. Stay tuned. The end of this week, there is something that I'm definitely going to be sharing that is in my garage, a new addition to the garage. So stay tuned for that. Jacob.
Found David's super chat.
Yes.
Excellent. I bought a Mazda 3 a few months ago. What are your thoughts on the handling and suspension?
Well, David, thank you again for that super chat. And thank you, Jacob, for digging that up. I think that the handling is still really, really amazing. The problem is that when they went back to the torsion beam, if you push, like if you start to push the limit to that car, you could feel that they went backwards with the rear suspension. Sure. And they did it obviously for cost, and I could sort of understand that, I guess, but it's still a fun car to drive. And for most people driving on the road, they're never going to get to that limit.
Every time we get one as a press vehicle, we always enjoy it.
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's a great car. The interiors are amazing. But are they as good handling as a Civic? No.
Yeah. But great question.
Yes.
And let's see, we're caught up on super chats.
Right when you said that. Emily's back.
Thank you again so much for your super chat. Your thoughts on the Aston Martin Valhalla?
The Valhalla is crazy. I can't wait to see it in person. And it's just one of those things that shows that when a car company puts their mind to it, they could produce something that's just unbelievable, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But thank you for your super chat. Let's see if we could go through some of these. We got C. Gillette.
I don't know what you're looking at.
Right there.
C. Gillette.
Loves the channel. Carson Kime, Kime, says 24 Elantra N. Your thoughts? I think it's still probably one of the best bangs for the bucks, and I really love the way they restyled it. Haven't been able to get one yet, but stay tuned because I know Crown Hyundai is getting a couple, and I hope to be tracking one down. Bruno D says, any news on the 2025 R3? No news yet whatsoever. So we'll have to wait and see on that.
And then Marie wants to know any news about the 25 GMC Yukon?
Still waiting. You know, we brought you the Silverado, the Tahoe and the Suburban, but GMC still has not told us about any unveiling yet. Stay tuned because we're going to be doing the Acadia Drive, the new redesigned GMC Acadia Drive. So I'll ask the GMC people if they have any new information.
GT wants to know, how's the automatic and the new BRZ or the GR86?
It's a hell of a lot better than it was in previous generations. Okay. Is it as engaging as a manual? No. But it still gets the job done.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
And then we got Danny's back with another super chat. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh, yeah.
He says, my buddy has this 1993 Ford Escort XR3. I remember those. That he'd love for you to review. Any timeline on when you'll be out here in Phoenix to check it out. Love you. Well,
thank you.
We appreciate it, and definitely thank your friend. I'm probably not going to be in Phoenix until probably August.
If that. So
we'll have to wait and see. But definitely,
I doubt there's going to be any media events
in
Phoenix in August.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. You might have to wait until the beginning of next year.
It might be fall.
So we'll just have to wait and see when the next one is. But thank you
to
your friend.
So
and
much
I would love to review something like that because I remember those from my high school days.
And then let's see. What are your top? Oh, you one right here. Jackson super chat. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yes, thank you so much, Jacob. Thank you guys. I landed a 23 Toyota Highlander Hybrid Platinum. Now I want to get out of my 2015 Elantra Limited. I love the size, but I want something hybrid or EV with a pretty interior. Any idea?
Well, first of all, congrats on your Highlander Hybrid Platinum. And thank you for the super chat. I really think that you should check out the new Camry lineup for 2025. They did a great job to the interior. And I think you're really going to like the MPGs, plus the fact that you could get it front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. You could also, if you want to stick with Hyundai, you could check out the refreshed Sonata Hybrid, which the Sonata has actually a nicer interior, I think, than some of the competition. It's even nicer than the Elantra N interior. even when the trims are the same, which is crazy.
That's
so
an interesting point.
yes.
Yeah. Is the Ramu G? Do you know much about the Volvo
XC reliability?
Reliability.
Well, I think that what you're going to find is you ask 10 different people, you're going to get 10 different answers.
Yeah.
I think overall the reliability, I haven't seen anything major as a big failure point with them. And if you get one that has warranty, that will be covered for you. So I say go for it. Here's a good one. Chance wants to know, what's your dream car?
I was actually just sitting here thinking about that.
Why don't you think about that and I'll answer Emily's super chat.
Okay.
So Emily has another super chat. She says, C Zinger 21C A Spark Owl and new AMG GT thoughts. I think the AMG GT is going to be the best one out of the bunch. I like the way they refreshed it. The one thing I don't like is the 4-cylinder turbo in the non-top trims. Definitely got to go twin turbo V8.
Okay.
Emily. So thank you, Emily. Matthew has a very generous super chat.
Yes, thank you, Matthew. Hey, Joe and Lori, if you were to pick an EV to buy, what would you pick? Also, you teased the new addition to the garage. How many now and laters fit in the door pocket?
Okay.
I'm going to get some merch soon. I love the content as always.
Well, thank you for being so supportive. Thank you for your generosity. Let me ask you your question first. If I was going to pick an EV, obviously I don't have a price limit here, but I would probably say Cadillac Lyriq. I feel like the Cadillac Lyriq.
Over the Porsche?
Well, I'm trying to keep it within. I mean,
you said there was no price.
No, he didn't mention a price option. So what I was thinking was I was being
the Audi e-tron?
I like the Cadillac. Are we talking about the SUV or are you talking about the e-tron GT performance car?
The e-tron, I don't know.
Okay. So I'm talking about an everyday daily driver.
Oh, well, you didn't specify
that. He didn't specify either.
I was thinking it was any EV.
Well, if it's any EV, then yeah, I would be a Porsche Taycan. Okay. Sure. That's my favorite. But with all things being said, I'm trying to keep it within a certain price point for the guy.
All right.
I go Cadillac Lyriq.
SPT wants to know if I've ever zonked Joe. I just zonked him right now.
That is very funny.
Yeah,
but Matthew, that's what I would do is I would definitely go with the Cadillac Lyriq, depending on the price.
Okay.
And then he said, also you teased a new addition to the garage.
Right.
How many now and laters? Actually, I don't know if any now and laters can fit in the door pockets. I don't think it has door pockets.
Oh.
I really don't think it does.
I don't think it does either.
It doesn't have the car actually doesn't have door pockets.
Interesting.
So no now and laters.
Yeah. Well, that's a car right up Joe Raiti.
There you go.
Perfect.
But thank you for the support and thank you for wanting to help represent Raiti's Rides. Let me know if you have any other specifics with your EV question. I know Lori's very perplexed why I didn't say Porsche Taycan right away.
I'm going to be thinking about it for weeks.
Yes, I know.
But thank you guys so much for the super chats. We got another one here from Thomas. What are your thoughts on the Land Rover, Range Rover pre-owned market? Reliable or money pit?
I think it's a risky endeavor. I really do, Thomas. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Unless you could find one that has warranty, I wouldn't touch it personally.
Yeah.
But the thing is I'm also not like in love with their style. I mean, I like them, but I'm not like in love with them.
That makes sense.
But I would try to get one with some warranty just to protect yourself.
Yeah, good point.
Thank you for another super chat, Emily.
Yeah,
we really appreciate your generosity from up in Canada.
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
And then Troy has another super.
Thank you, Troy, for the super chat.
Please review the 24 Audi RS5 Sportback competition.
You got it. I will be getting that together shortly, probably by June. I can tell you right off the bat, all the other RS5s that I've driven are freaking amazing. So I don't think you're going to be disappointed. But definitely I will track that down by the end of June and have that for you.
Absolutely. And then
Lee. Hopefully we're saying it right.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat.
Mazda or Lexus, could there be a true comparison since Mazda has come such a long way and I'm torn between the two?
You know, I really think you could compare the two brands. One thing you're going to notice where I know that Mazda has really beefed up their amenities and their materials and their fit and finish is closing of the door. When you close the door in a Lexus, it sounds better than when you close the door on a Mazda. But with that being said, if you're looking at the price differences, you're going to get a lot more for the money with the Mazda. The one thing you're not going to get, unfortunately, is the touchscreen unless you use Apple CarPlay.
Okay, that's true.
In the Mazdas.
That's true.
Whereas in the Lexus, they have that new Lexus multimedia system.
Hi-Ho has a burning question. It's burning Hi-Ho up, and they really want to know Land Cruiser V8 200 versus a new one.
Well, the thing is that to find a new V8 200, you're not going to get one in the States. If you get a used one, it's just one of those things. What do you want? Do you want the more pure Land Cruiser experience with the V8 engine and a very bare bones interior?
Right.
Or do you want to have something that's fresh, new, has plenty of power, plenty of performance, but also has technology?
It's a really good point.
Yeah. So I would say whatever you want more. If you want more tech, get the new one.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
And the reliability.
Yes.
And yeah. Really great.
Hi-Ho says thank you at Raiti's Rides. You're very welcome.
All right. So we're caught up on Super Chats.
Yes.
Again. Let's see. Do you want to scroll through here and see if there's anything that
jumps out? Bruno D says Macan GTS or Audi RSQ8. I'm going Macan GTS. Remember that green one that we drove?
Oh, I love that.
You love that one.
Well, yeah, and that got so much attention.
It did. It did.
Like that one.
Yes.
And then Kite has a super chat. Thanks for making great videos. Also, are we going to see a Ford Ranger Raptor video anytime soon?
Well, thank you for the super chat, Kite. And yes, we will be having that very shortly. I'm supposed to get one from Ford at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, and apologies for everybody who was waiting to see that on the channel with the embargo.
Lori got really sick.
Like
and we
last minute. It was awful.
Yeah, and it was seriously last minute. We actually missed 2 different media drives.
Yeah, which was really unfortunate.
So we apologize, but we'll be getting it. So don't you worry. Yes.
Oh, yeah. And then Emily, another point. Your fact on Aston Martin DBS 770 Ultimate?
I think for the money, I would rather get a different supercar. But I think that Aston Martin has definitely stepped up their game in style and performance.
Okay. And then let's see, Judd Mandu, Corolla Cross hybrid or RAV4 hybrid? His wife's thinking of getting a Corolla Cross.
Well, I think for the money, the Corolla Cross is the better vehicle, and I actually like the way the Corolla Cross looks. If you need a little bit more room, you're going to have to step up to the RAV4. But if you don't need the extra room, I think the Corolla Cross hybrid, it brings a lot for the money, especially when you look at MPGs.
Yeah, I think she'll enjoy it for sure. And then Maverick 007, is Ford really making a Bronco pickup?
Not that I heard of. I have not heard that. I actually did hear that like a couple years ago, but there's been nothing about that. Nothing.
CC, thank you so much.
Thank you, CC, for the super chat.
And then Emily as well.
Yes.
And
if you have anything specific to say, put it in the comment section. I see Emily just typed it. Yep. Emily says Lamborghini Huracan STJ. Thoughts, Lori and Joe? It actually has a lot of people shocked because many people thought that the Storado was going to be the last V10 powered Huracan. It's not. It's going to be that one. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But thank you, Cece. If you have a certain question, put it in the comments and hopefully Jacob could dig it up.
Yes. And then Jen from Canada. Thank you so much, Jen. Love your show. Least interest percentage is decreasing in the US. That's a question.
So it is, but at a very, very slow rate. Right now, we're still, I really think what's going to happen is that if you're waiting for these different interest rates and lease rates percentages to drop, it's probably not going to happen until after the election.
Yeah, that's very valid.
And whoever wins, it's going to change.
Yeah.
I firmly believe
that happens most election years.
Yes.
And then thank you again, Emily. Really thoughtful.
Raza says that they watch every day.
Thank you, Raza.
Yeah, and
no more spamming.
Jacob took care of that. Yes. He got it in.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yes.
And thank you, Raza. And then Nightbreaker, do you think Nissan will bring back the Nismo lineup of cars? Weren't they working on a new Sentra Nismo?
They are working on different Nismo vehicles. I just don't think it's going to be as fast as we were hoping.
Right.
They have their hands full. I mean, they're bringing out a lot of new vehicles. When we were in Japan last year, we got to see the next 10 years of their design. So stay tuned. We will be bringing it to you. Daniel wants to know my thoughts on the Shelby, this new Super Snake, the S650 base Super Snake. It looks freaking amazing.
God,
they did a great, it's probably my favorite looking of all the Super Snakes. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I'll be honest with you, even though the new Mustang S650 looks good, it's not my favorite. But that Super Snake, boy, oh boy, it looks badass. And I can't wait. I want to drive one really badly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then Troy has a super chat. One more, Joe. The new CLE Coupe 450. Please review.
I will. Will you write that down, please?
Yes.
Write that down. And we will get that handled for you right away. Yes, CLE. Very good.
And then Jacob found CC super chat.
Genesis or Lexus? I, in the end, will probably go Lexus. And the reason why is their reliability and their resale value. That's probably where I would go in the end, CC. But if you're looking for bang for the buck, Genesis can't be touched. It just can't.
That's true.
Yes.
And then Matthew, thank you so much for the thoughtful super.
That's really nice of you, Matthew.
EV specs, one reasonably priced one if you had like a dream EV or wanted to splurge and go on throttle, you can pick one of each.
All right, so if I want to splurge, I'm definitely going Porsche Taycan GT, that new GT.
Yes.
I really think that Porsche is one of the few brands where they've been able to take their magic and bring it into an electric vehicle where it feels like a Porsche. And then the other one, reasonably priced.
Yeah.
I would have to say reasonably priced. Maybe the Honda Prologue.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. I like the Honda
nice.
Prologue.
Well, you guys, you really had a chance to test it to its.
And it really doesn't feel like a Blazer.
No, it doesn't.
It really doesn't.
They got the styling right on that.
Yeah.
That one looks really good.
Yeah, I like the Prologue, and they're starting to show up at dealerships. So.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat, Matthew.
Yes, thank you,
Emily. Thank you again for your super chat. You're being very generous.
Yes.
And we appreciate everybody. I mean, at one time we had almost 300 people here. Right now we still have 273 people.
She wants to know your comments on the Maserati Gran Turismo.
I like it, but I feel like Maserati is holding back, and I just wish that they would just go all in like they did with the MC20, but bring it in the Gran Turismo as well.
Yeah. And then a super chat here from BK. Thank you, BK. So many Tacoma trims to pick from. Best bang for buck without breaking the bank.
I would
for a new daily driver.
I'm sorry, I just totally cut you off. That was very rude of me.
Not at all.
BK, thank you for the super chat. Sorry for cutting you off.
No worries.
I would probably go TRD Sport. I think the TRD Sport or the pre-runner are the two that bring the most value, and it's not like a bare bones thing. Those were my two favorite I remember driving.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's after 9.
We have been going for more than an hour now.
Yes.
That is, I tell you, time flies with you guys every time.
It goes so fast.
It really does. But we definitely want to thank everybody who super chatted tonight, everybody who showed up, all of you. We tried to get to as many comments as possible. We try to thank everybody, but as you know, these things go so fast, and all of the different questions, and Jacob having to lock everybody down. But we can't do it without you. Lauren and I have some trips coming up, so stay tuned for more unveil. Stay tuned next week for the new Traverse.
Yeah.
And I have some exciting stuff coming tomorrow, and definitely by Friday and Saturday, new car in the Raity's Rides garage that I can't wait to share with them. So stay tuned for that. But like always, guys, we'll see you on the next ride. Bye, guys.
Bye.
We love y'all. See you next month.